right now. Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
All right there, Susan, thanks very much. Good evening, everyone. It's another edition of the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call right here on the Bordas and Bordas Hotline, which is available to you at 412-575-2600. Twitter's also available at KD Pomp, at Gene Collier. And we'll begin tonight by talking about the Penguins with a big win last night as they had to come from behind to do it, 3-2 in overtime. And it sets up what should be an interesting home and home for Columbus tomorrow here and then in Columbus on Saturday before the Penguins play a night game at home on Sunday against Boston. That means 3 games in 4 nights. Very important, all of them, because it is a jam-packed Metro. And tonight, the Washington Capitals went on the road to Philadelphia and won 5-3. So they, again, in first place in this division. Gene Collier, outstanding columnist from the Post-Gazette, was at that hockey game last night. Unbelievable chemistry between Sidney Crosby and Jake Guentzel. It's not easy to play with superstars because there's a lot to expect, and you got to be instinctive. Jake Guentzel has done that, and when you look at him now, he's on pace potentially to get a 40-goal season here.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to end up saving them money on that contract. I mean, he signed a big contract, but it looks like he's going to outperform it. That was one of those plays in overtime that won the game for the Penguins where it's hard to figure out which was better, the pass or the play that Guentzel made on Roberto Luongo. Just two beautiful aspects of that play. And you're right, Bob, now 2 games with Columbus, really tight situations, really interesting, the most interesting part of the long hockey season. And I think last night in the Metro, you mentioned what the Capitals did tonight, but last night in the really tightly contested Metro, 5 of the 8 teams went into overtime.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
We can go down to the last regular season game of the year, and it may go to overtime or a shootout to determine what happens. But, yeah, you know, if I had to ask you, if you call in, which was more impressive since Gene brought it up here, the pass or what Guentzel did, or both? I mean, that was an unbelievable pass, and it's only through Crosby's vision that he can make it, I think. He put it right where he had to, just to an area that he knew Guentzel would get to. I got to say right now, you know, I've been saying that Crosby deserves the Selke because he does. He's the best defensive forward in the game right now. But Gene, he also should be in the Hart conversation for MVP once again. And if Kane for Chicago, who's having a great year, does not make it, I like Kucherov. Now, I'm not going to penalize Kucherov. That team is unbelievable. He should win it because he's the leader of that team, and that team has run away with the standings.
Right.
Because if you were to flip it around, and if Crosby were in that position, you'd say it should be Crosby. So Kucherov will likely win it. But Hart, Crosby has just been unbelievable.
Yeah, I think what we're talking about here, Bob, is being in the discussion.
Right.
So we just discussed it. But
so, okay, if you had your choice of 3, who would it be?
Kucherov is going to win that.
Yeah, but if you had to put, there's going to be 3 finalists. He's going to be one. So the next question should be, is it going to be, you know, a lot of people think Johnny Gaudreau, Patrick Kane, who's done a wonderful job. I think Sidney Crosby should be in it, and I think Alex Ovechkin should be in it. How many guys are going to score 50 goals the way he does almost year in and year out?
Yeah, he's been amazing. But so has Crosby.
Yep.
He's really got the what they call the 200-foot game now, Bob.
He has that 200-foot game, and he makes it work. There's no question. That should be great tomorrow. I'm going to be interested to see who Columbus starts in goal. You know, Matt Murray will get the start probably because he's on a roll, and they seem to be going to him day in and day out. He won't play every game this weekend, but I have a feeling, you know, 3 of the 4 will be his, or 2 of the 3 will be his. Bottom line is, if they go with Bobrovsky tomorrow, Gene, I would be shocked. Only because he's not had a good history. Keith Kincaid's had a good year against the Penguins. What would you do if you're
just
Torts?
like in the last game. It was right after the trade where they acquired Kincaid, and I thought they would go right to him, especially with the way he's played and Bobrovsky has played against the Penguins. So I expect to see Kincaid, and I'll probably be wrong again.
One other football note before we take a break and get your calls at 412-575-2600. Tonight the Steelers gave a second-round restricted free agent tender to B.J. Finney, $3 million for a guy who was undrafted. And when you look at some of the guys they've developed on their offensive line, like Alejandro Villanueva, undrafted to this, and now Finney, and it makes you wonder, Gene, about Ramon Foster, who can go wherever he wants to go at this point. He's valuable. He still wants to play. He's been largely, I think, underpaid based on what he's been able to do. What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, I think Ramon Foster is going to be playing somewhere else, basically.
Yeah, maybe the numbers just don't, and maybe that's why they gave Finney what they gave him. We want your opinions. This is your place to do it. 412-575-2600. Get on the phone, get on your cell, get on your tweeter, and let us know what you think right here on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, Pittsburgh CW. The Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call is brought to you by Ireland Contracting, celebrating 25 years as Pittsburgh's #1 home exterior expert in roofing, siding, windows, and gutters, where honesty and integrity still matter.